Chris Hughton joins us. Chris, how damaging a defeat was that today?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, but it's of course not a result that we wanted, and we didn't put in a good enough performance to win the game today. Did we deserve to lose it? They were very good on the counter. We conceded a soft goal that gave them the lift that they needed earlier in the game, but we needed to do more in that final third to go and win it. Even in the periods in that second half where we had a lot of possession, we found it very difficult to create the chances that we needed, and we've managed to hit the woodwork twice, but we've needed really to give their goalkeeper a more difficult day than what we did.
It's a problem you haven't been able to address all season, isn't it? Russell Martin has just called it a lack of quality in the final third.
And that's right, because we have, at times we do get that ball into that final third in on the flanks, and Russell Martin, of course, getting in them wide areas. Robert Snodgrass getting in them wide areas. But we always have to look and analyse it. And for a team that does manage to get into that final third, we haven't showed the amount of quality or goal that's needed to get the goals that we need to get.
Are other players carrying out your instructions?
The instructions are always, and there's always a game plan going into a game, and I think as regards having an offensive strategy, then we've certainly played two up front, more than any stage last season, and certainly far more than most teams in this division. So it's not a question of us not trying to get bodies forward or trying to get balls into the box. We just haven't showed enough quality that we've needed to once we've got into them areas.
We saw some angry scenes at the end of the game, some of those cardboard clappers thrown onto the pitch. You were hit by one as you made your way down the tunnel. Could you understand that reaction at the end of the game? I
can understand a frustration from the supporters, because we all feel it and we all see it. We've generally been good here, particularly since the start of the year, and we've had some real good performances here, and they've had certainly more to be pleased about at home of late than of course not be pleased. But I can understand today. They know where we are in this division. They know that we need and wanted a result today. They know how close everything is, and they're frustrated, and I can understand that.
I mean, what would you say to that fan who threw the clap banner that hit you?
Well, I mean, I don't know the circumstances. I think it's frustration. I think from everybody at the stage, and so it's not for me a question of singling out anything or any individuals. It's about a frustration that we all felt, and I can understand that from the supporters. This is their team, this is their club, and they don't want us in the dogfight that we're in.
And Russell Martin has just talked about he wasn't happy with some words that were said to him by a supporter after the game. It's all got a bit nasty, hasn't it? Does it feel like it's getting out of control, this sort of downward spiral, if you like?
Yeah, well, we can't afford it to get out of control, because we have 5 games left, and we need to make sure that at the moment it's very difficult to close this game down, because it's very fresh, and of course we're all hurting and we're all frustrated and we're all disappointed. So it's impossible to close that one down, but at some stage, of course, we have to, and we have to look forward to the next game, and of course the next 5 games. And you can only do that if you're pulling in the right direction. And we have a support that will support the club very strongly at Fulham next week, and we have to make sure that we give them more to cheer about than not.
And you're a little later out than usual to speak to us. Is that because you've been in with the board?
No, we had a couple of players that were drug tested today. That's normal procedure after most games. So the chat that I had with the players took longer than normal, and of course when it's been a bad day, that tends to go on longer than normal. And so that's all. And as I say, we're just incredibly disappointed with the result and the performance that didn't allow us to get anything from the day.
Thanks for talking to us, Chris.